Hello folks, and welcome back to another episode of SnowRunner. This is a little something different. I'm on my regular playthrough, and in this playthrough I'm at 100% in everything. I've completed all tasks, all missions, all of the maps have been opened, and I've completed all of the, the timed events. So I've been going back and I've been doing a lot of timed events over and over and over again, trying to get some money, because the one thing that I hadn't gotten was all the vehicles. And that kind of got real boring real fast. So what I decided to do was get on co-op mode. And in co-op, I would go into find a game and help other people out. So I've been doing that for the last week or so. And it's surprising how much money you can gain through that. I gained quite a bit of money because not only do you get money for the task that you complete, but while you're in the co-op, if somebody else completes a task, you also get the money they got. So it hasn't all worked out really great. There's been a few times when I'm in the middle of a mission and I get disconnected from the host. And I have actually lost money because I've had a trailer attached, and evidently I don't get that money back. I guess the trailer just stays on their game. But I did try to sell somebody else's trailer once, and it wouldn't let me because it belonged to another player. So just one of those little things you need to know when you do the co-op. And I have yet to find any of the co-ops where anybody is talking. So I don't know if you can talk. I've tried to communicate with people, but nothing. And I've searched the web, and I can't figure out if you go in co-op mode and you click on Find a Game, can you talk to anybody that's on that game? I don't know. If you know, leave a comment in the comments below and let me know, because I still can't figure that out. So I have finally reached the milestone. As you can see back there are a lot of vehicles. I have been able, get the brake off. I have been able to gain enough money to buy all 46 vehicles in the game. So I thought this would be a nice treat for me, maybe not for you, but I thought I would enjoy it. And it took me a couple of hours, but I got all of the vehicles out here and I lined them up. Russian vehicles on the left, non-Russian vehicles on the right. I would say American vehicles, but the BM-17 I don't believe is an American vehicle. I think it's British. And I'm not really sure about that. So we'll just say Russian and non-Russian. And when I was getting them all out here to take a look at them, I realized that I really have not looked at these vehicles that closely. And there's some pretty good size difference in some of these vehicles. And when you're just driving one vehicle at a time, or you're passing somebody on the road, you really don't notice the difference in the sizes. So this will be a really good comparison. So we're going to start out with the first truck you get in the game, and yes, this is the original truck that I got in the game. I refuse to sell it. I refuse to get rid of it. It is, oh, excuse me. It is the original one I started this playthrough with. And I've upgraded her and done everything I can with it, and it's still junk in the snow. That's really unfortunate because I like this vehicle, and I wish it did better because I would like to drive it more. But like I said, in the snow, in this area here, it's junk. It just does not have the power. It just sits there and spins like a lot of these scout vehicles up here at the head of the pack. Next one we're going to look at is the International Scout. Now this is not the original one I got on the map because I sold that one a long time ago. But I did buy it back, and to me, I really don't like the International Scout. It's a good vehicle in the beginning because you get the roof racks on it almost straight off the bat. And it became a portable fuel carrier for me because it is so tippy. I dislike the tippiness of it so much that I just wouldn't drive it, and it became something that would follow along behind other vehicles for the fuel. So next one we're looking at is the Hummer H2, and this is one that you can find in Alaska, and this is the one I found in Alaska, so I never got rid of it, and really like this vehicle. It also has issues same as the other Scouts. It does not like snow, or the American Scouts anyway. But mud, if you take this over to and you put it over in Michigan, it's a beast in Michigan once it's upgraded. Really good truck. And then we'll move on to the International Lodestar. So in my opinion, it is the best Scout in the game. I've used it on every map. I use it everywhere, and if I had to pick only one Scout vehicle, it will be this one. Not only do I think it's a really good, and it's not the best Scout as far as going through snow and everything, and you can do a lot more with this than you can the other Scouts. I can pull a trailer behind it. I can put the maintenance bed on it. I can have the pickup bed on it. I can put a crane on it. So it's very, very versatile, and I have done all of that stuff. So in my humble opinion, I believe it's the best Scout in the game. Now, what could be the best Scout in the game is the Ford F-750. And yeah, it is not right now. Though, as you can see, when it's decked out, man, it carries a lot of gas, a lot of repair points, extra tires. It's just awesome. Until you pop the hood and you see a V6 in there. Okay, look at the size of this truck. It's almost the size of the Kodiak. And they've got a V6 in it. Now, the new map that's coming out, there's supposed to be an upgrade on the engine. And I did watch somebody do a playthrough, and I wish I could remember who it was, and I'll have to go back and look. But they were comparing the old engine to the new engine on the test server, and I think it was Mr. Lone Wolf, but I'll go back and check, and I'll put it in the description who it was. So go and check his stuff out, because he does some really good comparisons with the vehicles. I really enjoy watching his stuff. And the new engine is a lot better. I think it may still need to have an upgrade to that engine too to make this a really good Scout vehicle. And as long as you keep that in mind, it's a good vehicle. It can do things. It will not pull a trailer up a hill. It's just not going to do it. And sometimes it has issues pulling itself up a hill. But if you're on level ground, it is a really good vehicle, and you can get a lot of parts and a lot of gas to where you need it. So I do like the vehicle. I wish it had more power. Okay, next we have the Chevy Kodiak C70. The C70 is a good vehicle. And you can see it has the paint scheme on it, the American flag, and I like that. I wish I could put that paint scheme on a different vehicle. I find I don't use this vehicle as much because when you put a bed on it and you put a couple of cargos, then the center point of the cargos are out beyond the rear drive wheel. If it had another set of rear drive wheels, it may be a really good vehicle. But I find I don't use it very often at all. And pulling a flatbed trailer, semi-trailer, yeah, it just won't do it because the frame is so long that it just you pull the front wheels off the ground anytime you go over a hill. So next, and that is the original one that I got in the game. I found in the mud and I never got rid of it. This is the second vehicle you get in the game. It's a GMC MH 9500. The 9500, I like the vehicle, and I used it often in my hardcore mode playthrough, because in that playthrough I cannot auto load anything. So what I did with this was I put a crane on it, and I would take it and I would haul it someplace, and it would sit at a factory, and I would use it to load the other vehicles when they came in, so I wouldn't have to carry a crane on every vehicle. And it did really well on that. It was really lacking because it was not all-wheel drive. With the Coved map, KOVD map, the newest one that came out, you found the all-wheel drive unit in it, or the upgrade. I put it in here, and it really brings this vehicle to life. I think it's a shame that you have to wait to the last map to get that. They should retro it in, if nothing else, put it on the island or something, that so you can get it and actually use that vehicle more. Because without the all-wheel drive unit, it's just not a good vehicle. With it, it's really an amazing vehicle, and it is the second vehicle we got in the game, and I never got rid of it. And then we have my buddy, the Fleet Star F2070A. So this is the original Fleet Star that was at the Black River garage. So as soon as you open up the garage, this was sitting there, and all you had to do was pull it into the little garage, or actually all you had to do was jump in it and recover it to the garage, and it became yours. And I used the heck out of this vehicle in Michigan. Really good. The problem with it is you can't haul a semi-trailer with it. If you put a low saddle on it and you put a trailer, the same thing happens with the Kodiak. The frame is too long and it lifts the front end off the ground anytime you go over a hill. And this setup here is really good. I really like this vehicle with the big crane on it. It's a very stable platform, and I enjoy the way it's set up now. The next one that you see is the Freightliner M16A1. What can I say about that one? People like it. I do not. The steering is just... The problem with it is you're driving it down the road, and I use a joystick because I'm on the Xbox One. When I move my joystick to the right, it takes about a second for the wheels to start turning. And if I'm moving at any kind of speed, that second, next thing you know, I'm slamming into a tree or a guardrail. So I really do not like the steering in this, so I do not drive it. I have tried many times. Every time there's an update, I get it and I try it, and it's just, I don't like it. Next is the Freightliner 114 SD, and it is a good truck for what it is. By the time I got this truck, I had much better trucks, so I found I did not use it as often as I should have, but I will in the future use it more. And I actually had to take some of the upgrades off so I could finish buying some of these trucks. And it's okay. It's not a bad truck. But now the white Western Star 4964. That's my buddy. And you can get the paint scheme on it, the blue with the dice. But I have run this pretty much day one in black. And I like the black, and I did run it with the paint scheme for a little bit, but I had to go back to black. If I only had two vehicles in this game, it would be the Lodestar and it would be the Western Star. Because I have used this Western Star on every map. It is not the best truck in the snow, but I have actually used this truck in Alaska as a scout vehicle because it was better than any scout vehicle. This is the original one that I pulled out of the dam map, Smithfield Dam. So this is the one that I fixed up and pulled up the hill and took it to the garage. I never got rid of it. And it's my favorite truck in the entire game. So No matter what happens, you will always see a Western Star, and I will always drive it on every map. Okay, now we come to our buddy the military truck, the A&K MK38. You will notice that it does not have the biggest tires on it, because when you put the biggest tires on it, it will go over anything. The problem with it is it won't turn. If you turn it, it will flip at any kind of speed. So I realized that if I put the smaller tires on it, it doesn't flip as much. The bigger tires just makes it way too top heavy and it flips. So like this, it does have a little bit of issue getting over really deep snow, but it goes through it a lot better than anything else, or a lot better than a lot of the other trucks. So I find I use this truck quite a bit, and boy is it fast. Man, that thing's scary fast. So if it wouldn't tip as much, it would be an awesome vehicle. And then we have our little International Transstar. This is not the original one I pulled out of the mud because I sold it. I needed the money. And this truck, same as the GMC down there, what I did was I put a winch on it and I hauled it to a place so that I could load things up for my hardcore mode. It's really not good for much else at all. So enough about that one. And next we have the Caterpillar CT680, and I call this the little cat because there is a much bigger cat down there. So I've always called this the little cat, and it is an awesome vehicle, awesome mud vehicle. It will go just about anywhere that the Western Star will go. It doesn't like deep snow. Even with the chain tires on it, it does not like deep snow. Everywhere else, awesome vehicle, and it's one of the first vehicles that when I had the money, that I bought in my hardcore playthrough. And next we have the Ford CLT 9000, and this truck just has a special place in my heart. First big rig I ever rode in, first big truck I ever rode in was a cab over tractor trailer. Now it was a Kenworth, but you know, they don't have a Kenworth in here. So this has the same issue as a lot of the other trucks. It does not have all-wheel drive, and you put chain tires on it, and you get a trailer, one of the semi-trailers, and you put on it, and as long as the road is not too muddy, this thing will handle it. It really will. I used it a lot in Alaska. If I had runs to make and I had to pretty much stay on the hard road, or in a couple of little areas just a little bit of mud, this truck would do it. So I find myself using this truck quite often. And then we have the Paystar, and I know people say the Paystar, wonderful Paystar, but the International Paystar 5070 is not one of my favorite trucks. Maybe I haven't given it enough chance, and I find it's top heavy, and I find it doesn't do as well in the mud as some of the other trucks that I have, so I didn't use it as much. I have heard other people say that they really like it. Okay, to each their own. Next we have the BM17. The BM17, and like I said, I think for some reason I'm thinking this is a British truck. It may not be. It's a good vehicle. It goes places. It hauls loads. It's top heavy. So I find I don't use it very much because of the top heaviness, and it tends to want to roll over a lot. So next is the Navistar 5000 MV, and this is a vehicle that you actually have to buy with real money if you want it. And I went ahead and bought it because it was $1.99. Best $1.99 I've ever spent. This vehicle is flat out awesome. When you get chains on it, or when you get all-terrain tires on it, it is even more awesome. Now, the only thing you can do is pull the trailer, You can pull a semi-trailer, or you can pull one of the small red trailers, or you can even pull the big red ramp trailer, and it will go. I found that this one and my Western Star, when I combined the two, I could haul a couple of large loads to places, and it would go anywhere I wanted to. So I really, really liked it. And next we have the Dairy Longhorn 3194. This is the one that you can find in Alaska. You have to pull it out of an area, and I've seen people try to pull it up the hill where it's at because it looks like it ran over the guardrail. I tried that once. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I just pull it down the river and find a much easier hill to go up. There's a bridge down the road from it, and you can pull it right up the bridge if you use the P12. The P12 does not have an issue pulling this. And it is a good truck. At one point I did have it upgraded and I used it a lot, but then I sold it to get other upgrades, and I just haven't upgraded it back because I've got better vehicles. But I am going to get it upgraded, and I'm going to use it more. Now this one I've used a few times. It's the Dairy Longhorn 4520, and I like it. It's just, it's good, but I have better trucks. And sometimes I find myself, in a little bit of a hurry, and I don't want to fool around, so I want something that's faster. This is the paint scheme, that downloadable paint scheme that comes with it, or that you can put on it, I should say. And it's a good truck. The front wheels turn, and the very back drive wheels, they also turn to help you make tighter corners. And there are times when you need to make some tighter corners, and it works really well. So next we have our Western Star Twin Steer 6900. I would like the truck more if it was all-wheel drive, and good news, in the next 7.0 update, from what I understand, there will be an all-wheel drive unit for this truck, which will make it better. It seems to get stuck a lot. I really like it because it hauls 4 cargoes, and I found myself using it a good bit when I'm doing the co-op mode. That way I can haul 4 cargoes and not lose my trailer if I get disconnected from the host. And it gets stuck a lot. Other than that, it's a really good vehicle. And this is not the original one that I found in the game. I sold it so I can get some upgrades. And next we have the Pig, the Pacific P16. The reason I call it the Pig is if you look at it, when you look at the description, or you look at going through your truck list, it'll say P16. And the first time I saw it, I didn't think it said P16. I thought it said Pig. So I just call it the Pig. Great vehicle. This would be such an awesome vehicle if it had all-wheel drive. It does not. And it doesn't slow it down that much. It still does a lot, but you have to get that engine upgrade. Get all the upgrades you can on it. The problem with it is it's pretty much a one-trick pony. The only thing you can put on it is a high saddle. And if you put that high saddle on there, you cannot haul the heavy-duty lowboy trailer. Even though it requires a high saddle, you can't haul that trailer with this. But what you can do, and what I normally did, was I just left the high saddle on it, which I took it off because I was doing something else with it. But I took the I leave the high saddle on it, and then I pull behind one of the ramped flatbed. So the next one we have, and we need to get moving here because it's getting dark on me, and I turned off my, well, no I can't. Hang on. Oh yeah. Let's go back to morning. Nope. Let's go back to 1 o'clock. There we go. Now we can see them good. So next we have the P12. The P12 is an awesome vehicle. I really like the P12. Especially the way I run it normally is in this configuration with some repair points and gas. Now I can put the high hitch on it and it will haul any of the trailers in the game, the special mission trailers. It can haul them with no problem whatsoever. The only issue I have with it is the long wheelbase. Sometimes it's a little hard to get around some corners, and that's where the P16 works a little bit better because it is a shorter wheelbase. But other than that, I mean, it's an awesome truck. I use it all the time, different configurations, and I really enjoy using it. So the last one we have is the Big Cat, or the Caterpillar 745C. And this is the one that you can get in the game. So this is my original one from the game. I did have to get rid of I usually run it with a fuel tank, but I got rid of the tanker so I'd have the money to buy the rest of the vehicles. And I should have waited, but I was excited because I was so close, and I just wanted to get all the vehicles. Now, this thing is a horse. It can almost climb a tree. The problem with it is, it moves more like a sloth. It is very slow, but like I said, if you need to pull something through some thick mud, that's the vehicle to use, and I have used it in conjunction with the P16 and the P12 and pulled them through the mud a lot easier than if they tried to go through themselves. So oh, excuse me, I got choked up. So that is the American vehicles. Now let's come over here and take a look at the Russian vehicles that we have in the game so far. And here we have the Dan. This is the original Dan that you can find on the map, on the Russian map. And I normally use this in semi-trailer mode. I put a low saddle on it, and I can haul the flatbed trailer, and it works really well. And I use this vehicle quite often. So very happy with this vehicle. And next we have the Azov 4220 Antarctic. It has about the same issues as the Big Cat over here. It's slow. It's very slow. And it's a one-trick pony. I mean, you pretty much put the high hitch on it and you're done. I don't use it very often. Matter of fact, I think I've only used it once, maybe twice at the very most, because it is so slow. And the variable steering, meaning the whole front end steers, not just the tires, that drives me a little nuts. So I find I can't control it as well as I'd like. So I just don't drive it. Here's a couple of vehicles that I do drive. So the first one is the Azov 64131. That's the red or orange and yellow one. And I use that quite often, and mostly in this configuration because it runs really good in the mud and the snow. But I use the other one even more, and that's the Azov 5319 because it is faster. And somebody called it the Dolphin, and I never saw in the description where it was called a Dolphin, but I've been calling it a Dolphin too. So two Russian trucks that I used a lot, and I really like them. And they will go just about anywhere. Two trucks that I don't like, I have used, I've tried them, and I don't like them, are the Kolob 74941 and the Kolob 74760. And the 74760 is the one there on the left. They're good trucks for what they are. The problem with them is they're so slow. It's like watching paint drying when you're driving them. And that drives me nuts because they are so slow. So I don't use them as much as probably other people do. But something I do use a lot is the Tega. I like the Tega. the 6436, and it has the paint scheme that came in the last update. When I used this truck a good bit, when update 5.0 came out, I couldn't steer it. It was all over the road, so I quit using it altogether because I just couldn't keep it on the road. When 6.0 came out, I guess they fixed the steering on it, and it is much, much better. So I've been using it again, and I really like using it. The problem with it is it takes a lot of damage. On the coved map, I tried using it a lot, and the ice and the rocks do a lot of damage to it. But it works really good. I like it in this configuration as a semi-truck because I can haul 5 pieces of cargo and it's like there's nothing behind me. So the next one is the Azov 73210, and this one I like this configuration. I like it with the crane. I don't really like it for much else, but when you put the crane on it, the places where you need the crane, it can get there. The main issue with it is if you look at that front end, that sits really low compared to these other trucks and sticks out way far, so it tends to bottom the front end out a lot. So that's the main issue with this truck, in my opinion. Other people may love it, and I do love it for this configuration. For the crane, when I need a crane, this truck can get me there, but sometimes I need to pull it with something else to help it through. And then we have our trio here of our Vorons. We have our Voron Grad, and I like the Voron Grad. I've been using it quite a bit, and it's a good truck. And next to it we have the Voron D53233, and it's a good truck too. I did take the upgrades off because I don't drive it as much as I used to. Same way with the other one, which is the AE4380. And me personally, I kind of like the AE4380 a little bit better. That's the red and black one there. I like it the best out of the three. It seems to run better. I know a lot of people talk about the Grad, and the Grad is good. But after 5.0 update, this one, for me, ran better for my needs. And I accidentally sold it, and I bought it back, and have not upgraded it yet because I am out of money. And then we got this little freaky deaky thing here. So this is the ZIKZ, or Zeeks 5368. Now there is an achievement that you can get, and I really didn't look at the achievements that much, but if you deliver at least 10 cargoes with this truck in either Michigan or Alaska, you get the achievement. And I didn't know that until I started looking through all my achievements, and I had already finished Alaska and Michigan before I found out about it. So I actually used it in the co-op mode and was able to make my 10 deliveries and got that achievement. It's an okay truck. I got my 10 achievements. I got my 10 loads. I got my achievement, and it's going to sit in my garage and pretty much gather dust. So next we have the Step 310E. I like this truck. I really do. I had something else on it and took it off to bring it out here. But I really like, for a little truck, I mean, this is not as big as some of the other trucks. It actually handles really good. And it will do mud and snow, and I really enjoy that truck. So I use it quite often. And it is dwarfed by the next vehicle. Until I started putting these out here, I never really compared this vehicle to the other vehicles. So this is the TUZ 420 Tatron. Awesome vehicle. It does everything very well, except rocks. This thing does not like rocks or turning sharp. Can't turn sharp to save its soul, and if you've got a place that's got a lot of medium to large boulders that you got to climb over, yeah, it's going to have issues. And if you're going a little too fast and you hit a tree where it's got that scoop part right there, you're going to go up and over. So you got to be careful with that. But as an all-purpose, going around and pulling things and pulling trucks out of the mud and getting watchtowers and all of that stuff, as long as you can stand the slow speed, it's an awesome vehicle. And it carries repair points and it carries extra fuel. So really nice. I find that I use this a lot, and it really does very well. Another issue with it is it does not do ice. It will break through ice and it will climb out of ice. But you get it on ice and you try to turn, yeah, give that up. You're going to go straight until it decides it wants to stop, because you're going to be sliding, and yeah, ice is not a thing for it. Some snow tires, chains on them, would be really good for this vehicle. And we don't have those. Now this is one of the vehicles you can get in the last update, and this is the TUZ-16 Action, something like that, Actaeon. I don't know, I've watched several people talk about it and everybody calls it something different, but it is the newest vehicle that you can get on the Coved map, COVD map, the latest one that came out. It does okay, and I'm not all that impressed with it. I know a lot of people are. Maybe I need to play it more, and I will play it more. I'm going to play some of these that I haven't played a lot. That's what I've been doing in the co-op modes, is I'm trying to use vehicles that I don't normally use so I can get a better feel for them. And like I said, it does okay. I'm not all that impressed with it. Okay, and the next one we have is the Yar 87. And the Yar 87 is good. I like the Yar 87. I use it quite a bit when I'm opening up maps, and really don't have a lot of complaints about it. A good vehicle. I have better ones, and mainly right there, my baby the Lodestar. But yeah, it runs really good and I like it. I don't like, however, the Con 39 Marshall, which is the vehicle I got when I got my season pass. I do not drive this, and that's the paint scheme that came with it. I don't drive it. I have tried and tried, and just getting it out here down this runway, I almost wrecked it 3 or 4 times, because you get it up to speed and all of a sudden it will dart to the right or dart to the left, and if you're not careful, you're going to roll it. And I don't like that. I have used it for a few small missions to pull something out that I didn't have to have any kind of speed with, and it does good, but I just don't like driving it. I have so many other better vehicles, so I just leave it the way it is. And then we have the Con LO4F, or the Con Loaf. I know people love this vehicle. People upgrade this vehicle. People throw it in the back of other vehicles, and they take it everywhere. And you roll this vehicle, and 9 times out of 10, it's going right back on its wheels. And I'm not a fan. Sorry. I like the paint scheme. And I am going to upgrade it again, and I'm going to give it another shot. When it first came out, when I first got it, I wasn't really all that impressed with it. Seemed to get stuck a lot in mud, and I just need to give it another shot, and I will. So maybe I will come to love it like everybody else does. Then we have the TUZ-166. I like this truck. This is fun. When I got this, when I first pulled it out of the ditch, and I was pulling it back to my garage, or pulling it to the repair station, I was thinking, this is a freaking little Tonka toy. I'm not going to drive this. It's going to sit in my garage and I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm probably going to sell it. Because there's no way that this thing can do anything on a snow or mud map. Boy, was I wrong. I upgraded it. And this is a feisty little truck when it... Ooh, don't know if you heard that, but thunder. And no, it is not AC/DC playing. But this is a feisty little truck on when you get it over on the Russian maps. And I had a lot of fun with it. And unlike a lot of these other scouts, when you put a roof rack and stuff on it, it really doesn't affect its performance. It doesn't slow it down. The CK here, you put a roof rack on this or you put something in the bed of it and give it up, you are not going to get out of the garage with it. It's going to run like crap. Same way with the Hummer and all these other vehicles, except for the International Scout 800. Putting a roof rack and stuff on it and loading it down with supplies really doesn't hurt the performance. It's the tippiness that hurts its performance. But yeah, this is a really good truck and I like driving it. Now you will notice, or you may notice, that I do not have the biggest tires on it. I put the bigger suspension, the custom suspension on it, and put the bigger tires under it, and it didn't seem to go as good. So this is the second biggest tires, and this is the regular suspension upgrade, and it does really good, and I like it. I enjoy it. And if I gotta get into a tight spot, that's the one I'm going to use. So the last vehicle is the Dawn 71, and I have to be honest with you, I upgraded it. I drove it once, and I didn't drive it again. I do need to upgrade it when I get more money, and I am going to give it a fair an honest try and drive it a lot more and see how it is. But right now I really don't have an opinion one way or the other on it. I have better vehicles, so I really haven't been in all that much of a hurry to give that an honest try, but I will. And there you go. Those are the vehicles in SnowRunner currently, and my humble opinion of these vehicles. So I will have some upgrades put on a lot of these as I go, because my next goal is to have every vehicle fully upgraded, and that means doing more missions and helping out more people. And I found I enjoy that. I would enjoy it more when I do co-op, if I could actually talk to people. It may not seem like it in these videos, but I am a fairly good talker. I'm an instructor at my job, so I am used to talking and I like to talk. My main issue is talking and driving and paying attention to what I'm doing at the same time. That's an issue. So again, these are all the vehicles in the game, and when we get the next map out and get the next new vehicles, then I will have to spend another couple of hours and do this all over again and put them out here. I'll put them out here a different way though. Maybe do like a horseshoe or something like that and just drive around and taking a look at the vehicles. But yeah, let me know what you think about the video. Leave me some comments. Let me know what I did well. Let me know what I need to improve on. If you liked it, leave a like. And if you feel some strange urge that you want to see more videos of mine, check them out. And maybe even subscribe. So this is not going to be one of those, it's not a career move for me. I'm just doing this to have a little fun. And doing it to aggravate my daughter, because she said it would be embarrassing if I posted YouTube videos. So me being the good dad I am, I took that as meaning, yes Dad, go ahead and do it. So I'm doing this as long as it's still fun, but when it becomes not so much fun, then who knows? We'll see. So I thank you for watching. Hope this in some way may have helped you or entertained you for a little bit. And I will see you in the next video. And until then, have a good one.